कुछ लैंड पास देने के सब सवाल पूछे वो वीडियो को समझना चाहिए कि यहाँ से निकलना कब है का बॉल इसको छोड़ना है.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are about to start the session, so may I please request everyone to settle down.
Hi, Akhilesh.
Hi, Matrics from Pune.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and this is the
I was in
event
Cushman
when
Lakes.
we are trying to establish a platform or create an opportunity wherein professionals
For some project,
who are
I
young
don't recall
professionals
which project.
entering into the sector are supported by senior professionals who are members or industry leaders. Giving them the direction and required mentoring so that they are able to get on the fast track of the career growth. Essentially what happens is that when we enter into a career opportunity, we have a lot of options to be able to get into. Well, had it been the case, it would be one option, it would have been a lot easier. But when we start in probably, at the school, when we have three choices, science, take a stream, science, commerce and arts, the confusion starts from there and we do not have clarity which one to choose. Moving on, when we get into college, there are multiple streams. When we get into the sector, we have 15 plus pathways and the confusion is so high that we are not able to identify which particular pathway suits the best. Where should we actually go and start our career? Is it commercial real estate which is good for us, or is it valuation or property management or anything else? So to be able to create clarity in this direction and have the community giving back, this kind of platform is something that would facilitate all these arrangements. And here we are with RICS Matrix as a platform which addresses all these areas, be it senior professionals giving back, senior professionals contributing to their knowledge, juniors getting aligning their interests and paths or passion with the skills to get direction in that space. So we now open the session, and I would like to invite Mr. Ashwini Avasthi, who is the Managing Director for RICS South Asia, to open the session with RICS updates and take us through the journey. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Am I audible at the back? Great. Thank you. Good evening and a very warm welcome to all of you. Today evening, I know we have some seats to fill in currently because I'm told the traffic in Pune is not better than whether you go to Mumbai or Bangalore or Delhi. So, and we face a similar situation everywhere, so probably there has to be some similarity when you're living in one country, so at least there is one for that matter. Thank you. So, a very warm welcome to all of you. We have been looking to start something here in Pune for some time now, and we've been contemplating this. So, RICS traditionally has been focusing on Mumbai, Delhi NCR and Bangalore. So this year we decided to step out of these three geographies. Not that we're not doing anything there, but also look at the other emerging markets. I would say these emerging markets are more established now. So we started with Hyderabad, we started with Chennai, and Pune was the third one which we were looking at to start. And while the regular other RICS activities we didn't start as yet, but the opportunity came for this RICS Matrix to get started, which I'll talk about a little later. So we thought, like, we did that in Delhi, in Gurgaon rather, a few weeks back, and we thought that let's look at Pune as the next destination for this. So here we are today. So again, thank you very much for your time today evening and coming here. As Nitin introduced me, so my name is Ashwini Awasthi. Those of you who don't know me, I'm the Managing Director for RICS for South Asia. While I'm sure all of you would know RICS, but for the benefit of those who don't know us, I would just quickly take 5 minutes for you to get introduced to RICS. So as if you can read here, we are the leading global professional body in the field of built environment. Sorry, that enforces the highest professional qualification and standard. So built environment, as I said, most of you are aware, which constitutes real estate, construction and infrastructure. We was set up in 1868, and we received the Royal Charter in 1881, which mandates us to work in public interest. We have 135,000 members in about 148 countries across the globe, and we are the leading standard-setting body in the built environment space. So when we talk about, we do a lot of things globally, but specifically I'll stick to what we are focusing here in the region. So our strategy here focuses on a 5-pillar offering. The first one being the RICS qualification. So as a professional body, we are bound to qualify professionals to become members of RICS. So being a member of RICS is one of the most preeminent qualifications that we have, and this membership comes in 3 different stages. We have associate members, we have which are called SOC RICS, we have full members of RICS, which is MRICS, and the last one is the fellow of RICS, which is FRICS. The second one is primarily we are focusing on capacity enhancement. This is primarily helping the working professionals to upskill. So we have the whole bouquet of training and other upskilling programs in the entire ecosystem of built environment. So whether we talk about QS, whether we talk about construction and project management, or we talk about valuation, or we talk about commercial real estate, or we talk about facilities management, so on and so forth. So we have the entire ecosystem, whether it is real estate sales and marketing. We have the training and upskilling programs that can help the professionals upgrade and upskill themselves to make themselves more relevant. So we have offerings both in B2B, wherein we curate programs as per the organization's needs, and we also have B2C programs which are available off the shelf. We have something called an online academy, wherein you can enroll yourself and kind of subscribe to these programs. Then the next one is on the thought leadership. So we have series of conferences wherein we have discussions on some of the burning issues. These conferences primarily focuses on the real estate asset classes like your residential or commercial, or we have real estate investment finance, we have construction management, and we talk about all the pressing problems which are there. We discuss about skills shortage, we discuss about sustainable construction, we discuss about new technologies, we discuss about government policies, we discuss multiple such things basically which can help the sector, and wherein the subject matter experts come, brainstorm, discuss, and we take the outcomes of the conference. We develop white papers, we develop research reports, and these are also presented in subsequent conferences. These are taken up with the government for any kind of policy intervention if it is required. In addition to that, we have the international standards. Some of you would be aware, as I mentioned earlier, that RICS is one of the leading standard setting body in the built environment. So we have standards in construction measurement like ICMS. We have standards in property measurement, which is IPMS, which is International Property Measurement Standard or International Construction Measurement Standard. We have land measurement standards called ILMS, International Land Measurement Standards. RICS has a valuation standard which is called as Red Book. We have a Black Book for construction. We have also have standards in fire, the fire standards, RICS fire standards. So we have multiple standards which have been not only adopted by the industry but a number of governments across the globe as well. And the last one is the focus on sustainability and net zero, because all of us know, I don't need to kind of dwell on the importance of sustainability and net zero, because sustainability, given what we are seeing around us, the way the weather or the climate impact we are seeing, so sustainability now is not any left as any goal to achieve or something. It has kind of become our the way we operate, the way we work. We need to be sustainable. We need to kind of have those practices in all our activities that we are conducting. So there's a huge focus on sustainability and net zero by RICS. RICS rather is working very closely with the UN, is partnering UN in the climate conferences, what we call as COP, so which is a conference of parties. So COP 28 in Dubai last year, RICS was the observer appointed by the UN, and this year again when COP 29 is happening in Baku, again RICS is working very closely with the United Nations on the same. So a quick update of what we are doing. As I said, we were trying to start with Pune on various RICS activities, which surely will get started from the first quarter of next year, and we'll see something or the other happening in each of the quarters from the next year itself. But as I said that, well, there are a whole lot of pictures of this year, whatever we've done. So as I said, we have 4 major flagship conferences. We have conference in real estate and investment. We have conference in India Construction Conference. We have real estate and housing conference. We have commercial real estate and facility management conference. So there are a series of conferences, and we also have something called RICS South Asia Awards, that is primarily to recognize the great work some of you, some of your peers, some professionals are doing, or the organizations are doing. So these awards act as a recognition of their great work, and also about encouraging others to kind of follow suit. So there are a number of such activities happening. We've also launched the dispute resolution service this year, and RICS would now be running a dispute resolution service in India as well, which was launched in the May of this year. So there's a whole lot of activities that are going on. In addition to that, I just talked about the India Housing Conference. So we are having the India Housing Conference on 14th of November. It's happening at the Lalit in Mumbai. Again, a great conference talking about affordable housing, talking about luxury housing, talking about redevelopment. A lot of redevelopment is happening in Mumbai, starting from the famous Dharavi redevelopment and others. We're talking about the future of housing. So there's a lot being talked about. All big names who have great experience in these fields would come and kind of participate in that and share knowledge. So I would encourage all of you, since Pune is not very far from Mumbai, to kind of enroll yourself for the conference and do participate in the same. Now coming on to RICS Matrix. So as Nitin introduced, so you would have seen a lot of you here are at the early stages of your career. So sorry, pardon for my throat today. So we do feel these hiccups at the start of career, because given the way things are moving, we don't really get the right kind of guidance, the right kind of support, the right kind of, I would say, advice, even what to do, what not to do, what should basically, when you have to progress in your career, what is the path you should take, how you should approach various things that you are doing in your day-to-day activities. So you definitely feel that if there is somebody who's able to mentor you or able to guide you, that would be a great help. And that is where the Matrix come in. And this is not something, while we are launching here in India this year, but this is something which RICS has been doing for years. And it's an established practice in the other parts of the world. It helps you network, it helps you upgrade, it helps you seek mentorship and guidance. So if you see what Matrix is all about, so it's primarily, as I said, early career community which is focusing on trainees and the newly qualified members up to 10 years to help them get guidance, get support. And this is all done through various such events or social events or other events which are on a regular basis organized, where people can participate in them and kind of take it forward. So when we talk about the goal of Matrix, it is basically to empower the next generation of the built environment professionals and create an enabling environment which helps them lead and innovate in a rapidly evolving industry. So, the three core objectives. The first one definitely is to establish yourself as the future leader. So help you provide a platform where you can network and learn. Then there's a lot of times, because of lack of awareness, people don't understand the career opportunities that are available. A lot of people I talk to, when I say people, I'm talking about students who are almost at the verge of graduation in engineering colleges, right, and doing civil engineering, right. They only know that the only thing, if they come into construction industry, would be, their job would be only pouring concrete at the site and nothing beyond that. And unfortunately, this lack of awareness is also causing a lot of damage, because when we see now the core engineering jobs, or rather the core engineering education, the people who are opting for that, the whole these streams, these faculties of engineering, they are really shrinking. If you see electrical, mechanical, civil and all that, you won't find enough people applying for these streams. because they don't have the knowledge and awareness of what are the career opportunities post they qualify with these degrees. And unfortunately, the studies are even more scary, because people who are graduating from these core engineering jobs as well are only about 32 to 35% are the ones who are landing up in the core engineering jobs. Rest of them, somebody is running away to IT, others are going towards finance, or so on and so forth. They're not staying in the core engineering job. So that's again a big challenge. India is taking on a lot from the West as far as growth is concerned. We know that we are one of the fastest growing economy, right? Large economy. But if we don't have people who can service, how do we expect to grow? So we need to have that pipeline, continuous pipeline that feeds into the organizations to help them expand and execute what they need to execute. So it's very important. So this is through this we are using professionals who are going and talking to students in the colleges and creating awareness. And the last one, as I said, building trust in the profession, because again this profession somewhere kind of doesn't enjoy the kind of trust and confidence for people to come in the profession. So maybe as compared to some of the other professions. So that's where we are. This matrix will help step into. So next one, primarily I would just quickly run a short video it's by our CEO Justin Young, talking about what this matrix is all about. So I would just request you to listen to the video.
Matrix is absolutely vital to RICS. It's the method by which people who are early in their careers can influence RICS and influence the profession. But equally, RICS can then help develop the next generation of leaders who are going to be globally active in our sector.
Through a tailored programme of initiatives, we help support professional development, inclusivity and innovation. This typically looks like networking events, candidate support, early engagement, site visits and CPDs.
RICS Matrix has been fantastic for me because it's opened up so many more opportunities than have otherwise been available.
I can honestly say that without RICS Matrix, I don't think I'd have the skills and the confidence that I've got today.
I love spending time with great people. I've met so many role models and people who I can really look up to.
Matrix is a really exciting part of the RICS. It's not only giving a voice to young people at the early stages of their career and helping them to influence the profession, but it's also training our leaders of tomorrow.
The RICS Matrix is the one place where you can find students, graduate surveyors and post-qualified surveyors.
One of my first involvements with the RICS Matrix was actually through the APC. This was talking about the workshops, what to expect in the interview, going over different competencies, and it was just a total sort of catch-all really of everything that you can expect.
Students are able to use Matrix to help them with their studies, so through dissertations and coursework, and just giving that real-world perspective.
Matrix is important to me because it's allowed me to develop my network. Because I strongly believe in this industry, it's not just about what you know, but it's about who you know.
Business is all about trust, and through Matrix you get to know people, you get to build trust.
Through RICS Matrix, I was given the opportunity to become a STEM ambassador. Off the back of that, I was able then to go into schools and deliver the RICS Inspire workshops. It's given me an opportunity to begin to give something back.
It's allowed me to really have a professionally wide influence and perspective, which has been something that I can't really get in the workplace. It's empowered me to make me feel as though I can actually make an impact. I'm not just another apprentice or another surveyor.
People from Matrix are really key. What they bring is a unique and a very different perspective. That's really important when we feed it in at senior levels within RICS.
I wouldn't be where I am today without the RICS Matrix.
The best people you'll meet in the industry are at Matrix.
Get involved in Matrix. It really starts your surveying journey off by building the friendships and networks that will be with you for the rest of your life.
Thank you for viewing the video. So, one thing that stands out, though, since this matrix is not currently, or rather we're just introducing here, so my personal objective would be to see a lot of faces from people from here, basically featuring in these videos going forward as matrix members. So talking about now coming back to the matrix here in India. So while we are launching this here in India this year, but then we had something which we were pursuing earlier, which was the alumni group earlier of RICS, and we've been conducting various activities, and these were primarily to as a warm-up or leading to launch this matrix. It's not that like we're starting from scratch. We've been doing something or the other in different parts of the country, engaging with people, young people, making them understand the value of matrix and how we can launch it and take it forward from there. So as again talking about the matrix community, again a community of young professionals who can engage with industry leaders to create mutually benefiting opportunities. And so it's again, we can bring the senior members of the industry, the young professionals to gain knowledge and understanding of that. So this is the QR code basically to kind of enroll. You can scan it, it's here or it's there on each of your table as a 10 card. You can scan it and join the matrix group. So it also helps, as I said, as a part of your journey towards the membership. While when you enroll as a RICS member, you are provided a certain support when we talk about becoming a RICS member. So there is a candidate support team that is established which helps in your journey towards becoming an RICS member. So I request my colleague Aarti, who is responsible for the candidate support here, to kind of come on the stage and take a few minutes to kind of help everyone understand that what is the kind of support that is available here to you all for during your journey to become an RICS member. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you, sir. Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Aarti Anthony and I take care of candidate support South Asia for RICS. So we've put up a slide here which is, it gives you a lot of information about what support is available to you as a candidate. So there's certainly a journey that you have to take through in order to become a member with the RICS. And this primarily includes enrolling as a candidate. Now, you could be an alumni and then enroll, or even if you haven't been an RICS alumni and you have the relevant experience, you can still enroll as a candidate. Once you go through the enrollment process and you become a candidate with the RICS, there is a team, there's a designated team, so we have an Asia Pacific team and there's a South Asia sector, obviously, and I take care of that sector. And there is a lot of support available. So yes, we do understand that the membership process, achieving that membership, making sure that you qualify as a member of the RICS is a process which takes a lot of commitment, and which is why you invest your time, you invest that, from your busy schedules, you do take that time out to become a member with us. And there is a lot of support available. So you can see, as we've mentioned here, like events like the Matrix, and there are other events that we do. And there's a lot of hand-holding in terms of making you understand the whole assessment process, because there's an assessment process that's in place which qualifies you as a member. So there's a written assessment which you need to submit, and then there's obviously an interview at the end of it, and that's how you qualify to become a member. So if you intend to start the enrollment process, we have an enrollments team in place, which is, you can email them at join@rics.org, that's their email address. And if you are an existing candidate and say you've taken a step back and you haven't really had the time to progress through your candidature, your candidate journey, you can write into us at candidatesupport.org, and we are here to assist you. There's a lot of support available, as I've said. So please reach out and continue with this journey, because I always say this, that if you do it, then you don't have to do it. So I think this is the right moment for you to begin your membership journey. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Aarti. Thank you. Okay, so now we come to the final phase of my being here on the stage. So now we would kind of move on to the next phase of the evening, and which would kind of lead you to the panel discussion. So we have a panel discussion on accelerated growth for future leaders, and it's a very interesting discussion, and great professionals with a lot of experience, which they will share here with you. And for that and taking this forward, I'll invite Amol Shilpi, who's kindly consented to moderate the session, to maybe come up on the stage and take this forward. So thank you everyone for your time today evening. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to those who have decided that you want to be part of what we call as a Matrix revolution. Any revolution starts with a small act, small action. But that particular act and action, few people decide to do it on that day, few people join later, few people tell others, and from that act or that action of that evening or of that day becomes a revolution. What does a revolution mean? It brings a sea change. And that change is something which is going to reflect in your career, in your life for decades to come. That is what it is like to happen. I go back to 2001, similar month of October, when I formally joined Colliers International as their senior consultant for valuation and consultancy. I had done some work for them earlier on a project basis where I did some feasibility studies and valuation for them. But then in 2001, I joined them formally. And the first assignment I received was valuation of petrol pumps. HPCL, BPCL, they were the players at that time, and they wanted to get the petrol pumps valued. I had done valuation when I was in architecture. So during that day, at that time there used to be a book called as Roshan Namawati. Some of these people would probably recall that a book of professional practice and valuation used to be there. And our exposure to formal valuation was only that much. And suddenly we were told that now we are supposed to do 50 petrol pump valuations were to be done. And these valuations had to be done as per the international standards. And at that particular point of time, only one message came from our London office that guys, if you are clueless about this, how to do that in India, then refer to RICS rate book. That is something which will help you. So I recall that first we got, and at that time hard copies were there. This book was this thick, and it was in a kind of a format like a folder. And one after another you have to open the subsections. We did that, and that is the time I realized that it's not your only superiors, not your friends, but someone else also can help you. And our London office, that fellow helped because he was an MRICS in valuation, and he had an idea that in India, if the petrol pumps are valued for the first time, at least what are the kind of principles which have to be used. We come across all these kind of problems throughout our career. Just day before yesterday, or rather yesterday only, I had students from my second batch in Mumbai. They actually had the kind of problems and questions which we are going to discuss today. They had that. I had a 1 hour discussion with them. And they had spent 4 years in a very good real estate company in Mumbai, a corporate real estate company in sales department, which is basically, you can say that they now want to understand one thing, whether they want to remain in sales within Raymond's, what their company, what kind of opportunities they can explore, or if they have to basically move ahead out of India, what are the kind of things they can do. So these are the questions which come, and these questions don't come to juniors alone or those who are very young in the profession. Sometimes after spending 10, 20, 30 or 40 years in the business, in the profession also, we come across all this. So these questions come, and there are a lot of challenges which come, but only thing is that if right kind of support at right time it is available, and if you know, many times you will hear, "Hamare time mein ye help hota to kitna acha hota." That people keep on saying. And that people who are 80-year-old, they will also keep saying this, and people who are 30-year-old, they also will keep saying the things. Things remain constant. So point is, if any help is available, if any assistance is there, that too in a formal manner, we should take that particular thing and move ahead. You never know what connection, which connection, what kind of networking you have done is going to help you. So today, with me in this interesting discussion about accelerated growth for future leaders, let me invite my fellow co-panelists over here. We'll start with Mr. Raju Mehtani, MRICS. He's co-founder and director of Cyril, director of Property Terminus, and has more than 5 decades of experience of doing transactions and providing value-added advice to his customers. So please welcome Mr. Raju Mehtani. We also have Ms. Anita Bhinge, MRICS over here. She is director, ForgeMax Auto Components Private Limited, and has about over 3 decades of experience of advising her domestic and international clients about architectural, project management, and various other services. So we welcome Ms. Anita Bhinge. Then we have Dr. Samir Saxena, FRICS. He is Director of Real Estate Services India Region, Marsh McLennan. Again carries decades of experience of providing sustainability, design, project management, and various other business-related services. Welcome, sir. And we have one of our young participants, besides the young at heart participants over here, is Amit Thawrani, MRICS. He has about 1.5 decades of experience in being a director, strategies and collaborations in ANCI fit-outs, and on a daily basis he keeps on handling issues related to meeting commitments, deadlines, and managing the designs in this particular process. So please kindly take over. We decided that we will not do a kind of a more like a formal panel discussion kind of thing, but let the speakers, they speak about their experiences and share with us. And we have decided that it will not be a kind of a mere question answer ki sir aap ye bolo and etc etc. वैसा नहीं होगा. So let's go to that particular part.
Hello.
Sir, please.
Good evening. हमें माफ करिएगा, मैं हिंदी में सोचता हूँ. So it will be mixed if you don't mind, you know. That's how it is, because I'm from BHU.
Yes.
See, actually, I did start long back. I started in 1976 my journey. But the fact is this, that I'm good that I'm here with such a young, people sitting in front of me. I'll say that, for 15-20 years I was confused. I was more working for survival, more working for supporting my family, getting my sisters married, my brother education and supporting my father. But I did not follow my passion, what I wanted to do. I think I learned that hardly about 20 years back, or 25, I think precisely 25 years back in Pune, that what I want to do. I was only just making money, employment, some growth here and there. So basically, whereas, there are a number of hard times I have done in my lifetime, we'll discuss at length, maybe at the sidelines of this conference today. But precisely what I can say is this only, that when I joined RICS and got that qualification with me, I realized that जो मैं 20-25 साल से कर रहा हूँ वो ठीक ही कर रहा हूँ, on the right side of the law. Now, what I am trying to again say to this only, that I am primarily a broker. Whatever you name it, you give me some kind of fancy name. I am actually a broker. But even being a broker, selling corporate spaces, selling campuses in Pune, so many campuses we have done, trust me that I have not done manipulation even 1% in my life. And I am saying with absolute confidence. Not 1%. And the second thing is this, that in spite of not compromising my value system, I could manage my life. I still have a huge surplus money lying at my home. I am absolutely comfortable. I still pay one of the major taxpayers as a broker in Pune. All is fine. All is fine. But RICS reminded me कि यार तुम ठीक चल रहे हो, ऐसे ही चलते रहो, चेंज मत करना, चेंज मत करना. This I learned again in RICS. So therefore, what I am trying to convey this to you is this. The second thing is this, that it. I know Bharati Vidyapit promoters. I know BNCA. The architecture promoters. My daughter has done her architecture from there. The fact is this only, that if you want to, आज की तारीख में मार्केट में तेजी है, बहुत तेजी है. आज की तारीख में तेजी है, हम कह रहे हैं आग लगी रियल एस्टेट में. If you are done RICS, probably you will be able to grow faster. That is my absolute belief in this.
I would just like to add over here is that one question I heard in one of the conference, that AI is changing the world of design, architecture design in a big way. So whether AI will take over architecture or architects' work, the answer was that the AI will not take over architects' work, but architects with AI capabilities, they will take over the architects' work. So the architects will have to get ready for adopting AI in their profession. So that's that same thought, I think, echoed by sir. I would request Ms. Anita to basically share her thoughts about early challenges in the career, please.
Hello, good evening. Pardon me, I was feeling a little under the weather, but I didn't want to miss this for anything, because these things are not happening that much in Pune. So I'm very thankful, Ashwini sir, for making this happen here, and Nitin, of course. So I also started almost 35 years ago, and I came from Bombay. I came to Pune, which was a sleepy town in those days. But I think because it was a sleepy town, it was a small town, it was a lot easier to start my own practice. I'm an architect by profession, and but I grew organically. It started like a mom and pop store in the beginning, and so there was no structure, there was no organization. I was managing my family. I was running around, had young kids, and but it was fun because that was my passion. And then I was working for somebody. It's a very big firm related to land which went bust, from Pune actually. I was doing some work for them, and there was this gentleman, Brigadier Sharma, who was an RICS, and I worked with him, and you won't believe it, we didn't get along at all, because he was a very outspoken and straight. He called a spade, and but he saw that I was working diligently. I was transparent. I promoted trust in him, and most of all, I worked with ethics. And he was an MRICS, and he told me, Anita, you must be a member of the RICS because you have all the qualities that will make you a good MRICS. And so I think he was my mentor. He introduced me to RICS. I had no clue what RICS was, and I'm so glad that I have become a member of RICS. I'll tell you later how it has helped me later on maybe.
Thank you. I would move to Dr. Samir now. Samir sir, just let us know about did you decided right in the beginning that you will actually end up doing what you are doing today?
सर आपने बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा है. आई थिंक मेरा आंसर शायद सबसे डिफरेंट ही होगा, एंड आई यूज अ ब्लेंड ऑफ हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश परहैप्स.
ऑफ कोर्स.
सो आई बिलोंग टू अ फैमिली जहाँ पे मेरे नाना नानी टीचर थे, मेरे फादर प्रोफेसर थे, मेरी फिर वो रिटायर हुई एडिशनल डायरेक्टर हायर एजुकेशन. My mom, she was a principal in an inter college, and my sister professor in physics, and I was the only one जो ज़्यादा पढ़ा लिखा नहीं. I decided after 12th that I'll be the rebel perhaps. और क्या किया, तैयारी पूरी की, इंजीनियरिंग की कि करेंगे इंजीनियरिंग, और फाइनली होटल मैनेजमेंट में सेलेक्ट हुए. तो होटल मैनेजमेंट में सेलेक्ट होने के बाद समझ में आया कि अच्छा ये तो लाइफ बहुत डिफरेंट है, क्योंकि इंजीनियरिंग जब तक कर रहे थे या उसका फोकस था, it was a different kind of ball game, and then you come to hotel management side, the first class in the hotel management. Sorry, I'm taking a little longer, but just to give a perspective. So जब पहली क्लास थी and we were there standing in food production. Some of you might be hoteliers over here, so you would relate to it. And the first thing was the food production teach. In fact, it was the food production, and we were 8 of us, and we were told, take out, you are going to join as managers in the hotels. So obviously hotel management करने गए थे. हाँ या मैनेजर ही बनेंगे यहाँ पे आकर. मतलब ये किचन है, ये सारी टेबल्स हैं, देखो इसमें कहाँ कहाँ क्या प्रॉब्लम है. 8 of us were given 8 tables and we started taking out faults. इस टेबल में ये यहाँ पे गंदा है, ये बर्तन ये काले पड़े हुए हैं, ये ऐसा है ऐसा ऐसा है. So after 15 minutes we were told by the teacher, excellent. You have got 3 hours of practical, you have got 2 hours 45 minutes left, rectify whatever you have discussed right now. So that was my first, that was what was our first lesson. So and that's the way our orientation was. And we moved on, and hotel industry that time, when I joined, it was 1994, when I started off, and I started on flipping burgers in fact. So started, a lot of you might know the name called Wimpy's. We were the first burger chain in the country. So started flipping burgers, that means making burgers, and then finally realized कि ये industry अभी इतनी mature थी नहीं. उस time पे options बहुत कम थे, and that was the time IT was coming into India. And by the end of 1998-99, you started realizing that a lot of people have started moving towards something new called facilities management. हमने जो पढ़ा था वो तो facilities management कुछ और ही था, ये facilities management कुछ और था. तो फैसिलिटीज मैनेजमेंट की खोज में निकल गए कि कोई तो हमें नौकरी देगा. बट एज द लक वुड हैव इट, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की नौकरी मिली. अब लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु हैव बीन वर्किंग फॉर सो लॉन्ग, if a Lala driven company hires you, they will tell you administration, and if it's a organization of repute, they will say facilities management, and it's more organized structure. So that is how my journey started into facilities management, so called, in the year 2000, and that's how it has been building up. Over a period of time, there had been multiple opportunities. So to say the least, I think the journey started off being confused. कि पढ़े लिखे लोगों के बीच में I decided not to go that route. Then hotel management से शुरू किया, went into administration, and then suddenly when you enter into a Lala company, it is very very different. And those of you who have not worked under there, I said, it's like a military regime. You should do that. A 6-month orientation also will help. I think that's what I personally tell. And that's how gradually, that's where my career actually started building up, and then from administration to facilities management and to corporate real estate, and that's how. So over the year since I've been working from 94 and now it is 2024, 30 years, what I have realized is CRE or the corporate services is not the first choice of individuals who are coming in. And majority of us who are sitting in this room would believe or would have an exposure to that. We are here lot of us are here not by plan but by accident. We have chosen to be this in this field, we have chosen to embrace this field, and we have chosen to excel in this field. But then it was never the first choice.
Thank you. So from embracing the field to excelling, we have about 100 years of experience sitting here on this particular dais over here. So now my next question is with Mr. Amit, and that is about mentorship. Where did you exactly find a mentor, and what was the kind of a change that mentor had got into you?
So, hi everyone. I would just give you 2 or 3 milestones of my career, how I actually shaped it up. This is about 2019 actually. All of you watch Netflix, right? So I was doing a prestigious project with Netflix, and I was in this panel as a cost consultant. I mean, by profession, as an embracement, cost consulting is something which I had taken upon. I practiced it, and then now if you can see through my designation, even though it's a fancy designation, but as I say, simple version to dhanda chalata hu. Very simple. Okay, so how you can be there, just being a back-end support, and then being a front-ending somebody, doing a front-end job where you are actually doing real on-ground business, where you are, I would say, responsible for the profit and loss, actual profit and loss. This is where this acceleration has happened with me when I have been introduced to RICS in the year 2019. So before, I would say, onboarding us, my then time employer, the Netflix panel wanted to have a one-on-one interview come discussion with everybody, and I think I got interviewed by 5 people, to be honest, and everybody asked me, do you know about RICS? Okay, so I was like, no, I have just heard about it, but I don't know. Then they were like, if you are being a cost professional, especially in a so-called corrupt market, India, like how you will hold yourself on the ground if you are handling such larger volumes of money. And I got asked the same question with certain I would say prime clientele which I worked with, like JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. Everywhere I could see these people, why they are bigger, why they are impactful, because there is one fact that they take their ethics and their regulations very seriously. This is where that small things, what we say na ki choti cheez mein bhagwan basta hai, that's what they could practice day in day out. And if somebody is not watching you, what do you do? That's what they taught me there. And then and there itself, my reporting manager, who was a South Indian, generally South Indians have a habit of learning more and more, even if they are not they are not into active education. So she introduced me to how to apply for RICS, and then she said, okay, if you cannot pay it, and I'm a Sindhi, I don't invest easily, I'll be honest with you. So I asked, मेरे लिए क्या मैम, वो तो बताओ, आप मुझसे काम भी करा रहे हो, ये भी चीज़ कराओगे, मुझे नहीं चलेगा. So she said, okay, let's do it this way. I'll ask the HR team to sponsor you 50%, and then we do it. But if you crack it in one go, it will be 100% sponsorship. Wow. So I was like, boss, अब तो कोई पैसा लगा रहा अपने ऊपर, अब तो निकालना है इसको. And that's how it started. I applied in 2020, I think September, and December 2020 I just got my RICS accreditation. And the simple trick to go through or sail through it was just being honest and be what you are. That's the only thing, nothing else. No preparations, nothing. Just be there. Whatever you can demonstrate, if you have that capacity to stand for it, I think it's all for you.
Thank you. Now we have another Sindhi on the panel over here. He also invests into education and programs and courses. He just now shared with me. I would like him to throw more light on that particular part for our audience.
I'll again say that my RICS is about 5-6 years back. But while being in Pune as a broker, whatever company that I was running for myself, while working with the Times of India or National Stock Exchange or giving campus to Deloitte, or giving campus to AXA Insurance or TCS or so many large companies, international companies. I think one thing which I would like to actually share with you, मैंने सिर्फ अपनी ब्रांडिंग की, मैंने ये कहा कि मैं जो कह रहा हूं वही ही करूंगा. And in that, I'll just take a very small actual example with you that once, many years back, I wanted to meet Jagat Guru Shankaracharya. I've been fortunate to have met many such, people, but I wanted to meet him. I wanted to meet him and I met him in Banaras. He wanted to go take a bath in Tulsi Ghat. He said, ठीक है, साथ में आ जाओ, बात करते चलेंगे, साथ में वापस चले आना. And then that time I have to observe he's taking bath. That's all. Now, while going and coming back in that journey of time, मैंने कहा सर ऐसा है कि मैं भी, and I was that time about, at this time telling you something about 25 years back, 30 years back. मैंने सर ये है कि आप जगत गुरु शंकराचार्य हैं और मैं कंफ्यूज हूँ मुझे क्या करना है, तो बताइए मैं करूँ क्या. बोले ऐसा है तुम खाली एक काम करो, जैसा सोचते हो वैसा ही कहो और वैसा ही करो, बस और कुछ नहीं. I thought कि, I mean, actually when he told me this, I could not understand. It took me 4, 5, 6 years to interpret what he wanted to tell me. The fact is this, that that in the present world we are so confused. हम सोचते कुछ हैं, हम कहते कुछ हैं और करते कुछ हैं. He said that's why your performance is low. You are putting 35% in X, 35% in Y, 30% in this, and you're not able to perform. You're confused. He says जो करते हो वही करो. So basically, I feel that if whatever the success that I have come across, whatever the kind of growth that I have received, is only because I kept my line very clear. Very clear, very clear. Even today, if there are 6, 8 IPCs, trust me, out of 4 IPCs, Pune heads are my students. They have learned in my office as a training college. So I'm not saying I'm boasting about it. What I'm saying is that fact is this only, that if you are clear what you want to do, I'm sure that success is waiting for you. If you are, that was my mantra. And at the same time, I felt, that since I know these high-ups, university educations and some colleges people, or maybe what my children have done, my daughter, my son, I felt that, that अपनी दिल की सुनो, दिल की आवाज आती है, सबको आती है. और वो खाली प्रॉब्लम हमारा ये है कि हम उसको कैमोफ्लेज कर देते हैं in some form. And I'm not saying that everybody from here is going to be very successful RICS, but कम से कम अगर आप वो आवाज सुन के करते हो तो सक्सेस तो आपका वेट कर रही है. I still have done my BD. मैं BD में ये उम्मीद नहीं करता हूँ कि मुझे क्या मिलने वाला है. बस सोचता हूँ कितनी अच्छी औरत है यार ये. She knows my wife also, So only from that angle, every prosperity is a byproduct. Prosperity comes, it has to come. Only that my relationship should be pure. उसमें खोट नहीं होनी चाहिए. चाहे वो किसी भी एज के साथ हो, किसी भी इंसान के साथ हो, उसका कोई भी औहदा क्यों ना हो जाए. That's it.
Thank you. Anita has worked a lot on international projects also and on international soil as well. So again, I would like to ask her that these professional qualifications, how really does it help for those who work in such conditions?
So RICS is not really mandatory for the projects that I worked on internationally, but it does help because it's globally accepted worldwide, and it gives you an edge, I suppose, though it's not mandatory, but it definitely gives you an edge.
Okay. Another question is to Dr. Samir. You must have trained a number of students, number of your staff, you must have trained over a period of 3 decades or so. So in this case, can you cite an example where you could actually see a fast track career growth of individuals because of they wanted to learn or acquire such qualifications?
ठीक हो गया. मेरी वैल्यू नहीं की जा रही है. आई एम बीइंग थ्रोन आउट. सर And I think very important question, and I'm addressing it more from a facilities management perspective.
Of course.
And interestingly, facilities management as a subject never existed when we started off. And gradually it evolved over a period of time. There were now institutions, there are other organizations who have now started building it up. So there are organizations who RIC has partnered also with someone like IFMA, who actually started building up the visibility of facilities management. I think it was late 1990s, and that's how it has been. And gradually RICS, through their school of the RICS School of Built Environment, they have been offering facilities management as the courses. So what I have seen, and in today's market, now I'll give a context around the fact. Today, if you look at India, only and only India, the kind of grade A spaces that we have are maybe close to 1,000 million square feet of area around the country. On a yearly basis, we are going to increase over the next 5 years anything between 50 to 80 million square feet of area. Today, all of the seniors who are sitting in the room, they are aware of the fact, whether it is facilities management, whether it is CRE, whether it is project management, if you have to go and hire someone, you don't find people employable. You find unemployed, but then not people who are employable because of the absence of skill. And platforms like RICS, they give you a shortcut to success, provided people believe in it. And there have been many stories, many instances where people have started the careers. They started their careers, started building up some professional qualifications, and then they have been recognized and duly recognized. And it is not that a qualification in any of the field will immediately bring you some promotion. It is about how you apply that in your day-to-day work. By what attitude are you adopting that? I think that is something which will help all of them who are willing to do it. So there have been many people, and I'm sure even right now we have been mentoring. I've been working closely with a lot of colleagues across the country, and I've been mentoring that, this is what you should be looking at, this is what you should be doing, and that is what will help them grow in their careers. So definitely a formal qualification helps individuals, and this will continue to help them.
Thank you very much. I think that's a completely perspective which is very important over here. As we were into the question of BD when we stopped at Amit last time. So Amit, would like to understand, if you have BD as your goal, how would you see what kind of a professional approach you would have today, and what kind of networking would you do?
So I think this is something very relevant, and a lot of young professionals will resemble with me on this part. When you are exposed to a profession called as business development, everybody thinks it's just a transactional role, It cannot be the case. Once you are sitting with somebody, what value you are proposing over there, value can be different for anybody. आपके लिए कभी वैल्यू टाइम हो सकता है, किसी के लिए पैसा हो सकता है, किसी के लिए क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट हो सकता है, राइट? सो उस चीज़ को समझने के लिए आपको फंडामेंटल्स क्लियर होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. सो बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट इज ऑल अबाउट, आई वुड से, picking that nerve, and while getting over there, उस nerve को कैसे पहचानते हैं, I think that is what I have learned through the fundamental approach what RICS has given me, because fortunately I work as an RICS accessor also. I have had the privilege to work with Anita ma'am on various assignments. So what keeps me going over there is how to get into the world of somebody else, what they are wanting from us. Being a fundamentalist, don't react, listen first, be there, hang in there, understand, comprehend, react, and then get the result. I think if you start doing it slowly, rationally, BD is nothing different, I would say. It is all about this. Just be there, hang in there, and this approach of having a structured version of getting things done, having the community to make you understand that kind of setup, be there, hang in there is what is more important, and that's what has kind of helped me to establish those kind of long-lasting relationships with my prospective clients, new clients, and I think that's working fantastically well.
Thank you. Mr. Raju, you have been working for over 4 and 5 decades, and another 10 years which are going to be very challenging, another 10 years that are going to be very challenging. Where do you see the transaction kind of a space which you mentioned about the kind of size of transactions which are likely to come in the decade? Where do you see transaction kind of a space modifying, and how these qualifications and the kind of networking would help?
We are actually at a stage, it is really difficult to comprehend the quantity. Because every week, every month, in every business paper or interview, you see this company is coming, this company is coming, this fund is coming. I'm working with a lot of funds across Asia. But I say I will not be able to comprehend the quantity exactly, but I can see that opportunities are plenty. Opportunities in the logistics space, in the industrial space, in the investment space, huge. People are investing in tier 2 cities in a big way. People are investing. I have about 35, 36 offices in the country today. So I'm doing transaction in Coimbatore or in Siliguri or in Cochin or in Coimbatore. But you sometimes surprised in that city this company has gone.
Okay.
In that city this company started manufacturing. They are acquiring such a big land in that area. Or there's an inquiry. I'm actually not able to justify even 20% of my position if you're asking me. I'm honest about it. There is so much opportunity. The only problem that comes here is this. Sorry to young generation to tell you this, is this. Okay, if you are thinking that I want to buy a car and have a house in second year, that's why I'm joining is this. That's a blunder. That's a blunder. Join this profession to feel pride. Actually, I said that my wife is a renowned doctor. She knows it. When she was getting me married and I was in real estate, I said, why you want to get me married? Yaar, main to dalali karta hu. What you are seeing in me? And I'll be always not seen seriously. You will be doctor. You are lecturer or doctor. How will you see? She said, nahi, tum insaan achhe ho. That's important to me. So I'm again saying it has taken me years to create my credibility as a broker, but my believing is this only. As long as you are passionate about it, transactions में आप नोट गिन नहीं पाओगे इतना काम. And I can tell you, I can swear my children, there's so much money in this profession. But only you have to be little accountable, little, with your credibility, don't compromise. It's not that it was easy for me to do a transaction for NSC. It's not easy for me to do a transaction in Bombay for Deloitte. What I have done is only I know. They had 5 offices, just half a minute more. They had 5 offices, some small, some big, some on lease, some on outright. They wanted to consolidate it all in one particular building, and they wanted somebody who can do in their budget, in their timelines. It took me 3.5, 4 months to meet Uday Sen, the country head for that. And he only gave me 15, 20 minutes after 3-4 months. I had to decide how to convince him, what to give him. The whole Bombay wants to be a Deloitte vendor, and I am coming from Pune. He also surprised. Why you come from Pune? I said, sir, I want in my credibility, I want to serve a company like Deloitte because you people are ethical people. There are so many companies, but among the top 4 you are one. So I want to prove. He said, tell me. He asked me 5-10 questions in about 10-15 minutes. Trust me, once I finished and I was excited. ये बोला. बोलो जो बोल रहे हो सब सही बोल रहे हो? हाँ. Can you put in writing? I said yes. So he called his South Indian secretary. He said take this person inside. He want to give dictation. Just do it. So what I said, he wanted me to write, and she said sign it now. And the moment I signed that paper, I tried to capture everything that I told him about the pricing, about built-up carpet ka khapla, about timelines, about getting rent-free periods, about the cost of parking, whatever that I had knowledge. And I'm from Pune, trust me. It took me a lot of things to learn. He called his Australian director called Mr. Dev Kedi. He says, मेरे को आदमी ठीक लगता है, इसको काम दे. And trust me, I got a deal of 1,75,000 in Bombay. While being from Pune. But it was not easy to bring 5 offices in my way, their plan on different floors and accommodating them. So, if you are going out of the way, walking extra mile at every relationship, walking genuinely extra mile, transaction aata hai. Hundreds of acre lands I have given in Pune. It is not easy. It's a very murky business. Land is a very murky business. very dirty business. But only thing is this, I did not compromise on my ethics. I did not compromise. उसके बाद भी पैसा बहुत है. It's in a more than I don't need that kind of money. That's it.
Thank you, sir. That prompted me to cite one of example which I did in Pune way back in 2008. One of the American companies, which was the original equipment manufacturer for Ford Motors, they wanted to set up a plant which was in excess of 25 acres, so 10 hectares. So for that, a permission from Mantralaya at that time was needed. And the land they wanted to buy was out of MIDC area, which we had identified. MIDC did not have land at that point of time. When I explained the entire process, then the American CEO, who was of Indian origin, born in Nagpur, he told me, Amol, recently I saw a movie in a multiplex. The movie, what you are telling me the process, exactly some of the character in that particular movie goes through. And name of the movie was खोसला का घोसला. बोलता है ऐसा ही होने वाला है क्या मेरे लैंड के साथ 27 एकड़ में खरीदने जा रहा हूँ. पूना का एक इंटरमीडियरी जो था उस प्रोसेस में, he was investor. Then we told him, sir, that man is basically putting money for you. It will take 7 months to 8 months to complete this transaction. But when we are here, land transactions are murky. अपने खोसला का घोसला का नाम लिया है, लेकिन हमने चैलेंज के जैसा लिया है कि आपकी कंपनी को हम लोग पार्लर MIDC के बाहर जगह लेके रखेंगे. And we did that. Then when this coconut breaking ceremony was there, then only the CEO over there, he said only 2 people, they were responsible for this. This one gentleman from Colliers, that was me, and the other gentleman from Pune Timber Market, whose business in Nagar Road was to acquire land and give it. So these 2 guys he called and he said कि और 2 नारियल तोड़ने पड़ेंगे, ये नारियल ये लोग तोड़ेंगे. So that is the kind of a point, the kind of being in this kind of a company, right company with people full of integrity that breeds into this particular part. And when we can handle the murkiest business like land, then doing transactions, commercial, retail, residential, these are comparatively easier things. The principles remain the same.
Can I add something?
Please, sir.
Interestingly, when you were saying, and land deals will murkier, it's all across the country, by the way, right? It's a common problem. And so I'll also talk about it a little about more networking. So because of the industry connect that I have, so specifically in Delhi NCR, so there's an organization, large chip manufacturing organization, they decided to buy a land. And they had 550 people who were working as engineers, and their project was to make 550 cabins for them. That was their project. They started buying the land. Now buying the land in Noida, when Mayawati is there, when others are there, very difficult. I don't know how many of you are familiar with that. It's very difficult. But then yeah, because of the work ethics that these guys had, they did not pay an extra penny on buying the land, number one. Number two, then there were certain plans, etc., which were to be kind of approved, and then there comes Noida Authority. And it is a extremely painful activity to get the plans approved, etc., etc. Almost it took the gentleman who was leading their real estate almost a year, and I know the turmoil that he had gone through. Because being an American organization, plus he himself was of that view that I will not pay a single penny. He ran around and he got the work done. Interesting part begins here. The leadership change at the US. They said, no, the concept is now changed. The way that we are supposed to do, we will now change. The entire approvals and those processes were to be redone. Now imagine the plight of that individual. He had to go back to that entire process of getting it re-approved by that time. Again, he did that. He managed it successfully. The project stands tall. It is there. Did not spend a single penny over there. The only thing was he had to put in hard work. He stood by his ethics. So what I wanted to kind of reiterate is what you have been saying, and I'm so appreciative of that fact, that in case if we want to stick to our ethics, it is always possible. You will take time, but then there are definitely ways out. Unfortunate reality is the community that we are working in, one, we have the pride which is missing, and that's what Ashwini, you were talking about, the pride which is missing. Second, what I strongly feel is camaraderie that is missing. वो ये deal वहाँ जा रही है, इसको मेरे को नहीं मिल रही ना, खराब कर दो. right? Why can't we act as collaborators? Why do we have to act as only competitors? Is RICS or the association or any of the way, if we are working in the same field, why can't we collaborate? I think that's very simple. So our profession, the pride of this profession will enhance once we act as collaborators. Once we all know about the integrity issues, the underbelly of this industry. We know that. We have faced that. I think the building in ethics, bringing in ethics to this community will elevate the entire profile of what we are doing today. So I think there are multiple instances and we can keep on quoting, but then I think we have a lot of hopes from the freshers in the industry and they will change what we could not change or we could moderately change over a period of time.
Thank you. With this point of freshers who are likely to bring a change over here, I would like to ask Anita about this. That what lies in a design field for in store for design field for next 10 years, and how the young are going to influence about that particular part. Your experience about that.
First of all, just to add to what you said, that if you want to stick to ethics, I think there is no option. You just, I mean, it's there. You just have to do it, right? Okay, yeah. So like you rightly said, Amol sir, AI is not taking over, but AI is very much on the scene for the architecture and the design industry. But I think that AI is only going to replicate the what you call as the donkey work, and definitely not the creative. It will never do the creative work that an architect does. So I think we can rest assured that they are not going to take away our jobs as creative designers. And for the young professionals, I think, especially for architects, earlier the perception was that architecture means you only do the design and you build and license and things like that. But now there is a plethora, there are so many allied fields now, which I myself realized through my practice as an architect, like valuation, like more quantity surveying, not so much valuation, like quantity surveying and construction management, project management. And it is really those are also very interesting fields, and there is a lot of scope. And especially if you are an RICS, there is this, there are companies like Atkins and similar companies who, they don't do projects in India, but they come to India, they have offices here and they work for projects outside India. So it's like outsourcing maybe what the IT industry had, So if you want to work in such companies, RICS is very essential to be a member of the RICS. Because now we are, the young professionals are looking to export services globally, and if we want to stand in the global industry scene, we have to have those global standards. So that is why RICS is so important, and I think all of us are going to now look at the world as a market and not just restrict ourselves to our country.
Absolutely. One example I would like to cite over here, that Navi Mumbai International Airport, where the first test flight had recently landed or left from there, that particular work was initially done by Zaha Hadid architects. But when the good for construction drawings were to be done, these drawings were done in India, and in record time, Adani and Airport Authority wanted that to be done. And this particular work was done by a team of 100 professionals from India, and these 100 professionals, 50 professionals were from architecture side and 50 professionals were only expert in making drawings by using computers and the various softwares which are there. So in that particular, these drawings were executed in record time, and after that the construction also started. So what we can see, the future is already here in this particular part. But again, in this case, the things change so rapidly that being connected with each other and getting to know that before a YouTube video about that gets made is something which is absolutely essential. So I would now move to Amit about this particular.
If you may. Actually, BIM is very important, and for all the youngsters in the design industry, I think that is going to be the next. It's going to be mandatory after. I can see that it's going to be mandatory after a few years.
So, if that started changing your field also, Amit, coming back to you on this particular part, how this technology is shaping up and what we do?
As Anita ma'am rightly mentioned right now, there are so many clients with whom I deal on a day-to-day basis where they want automated and integrated solutions where there is no cost overruns. I am sure we all know for a fact that India is booming as one of the biggest superpowers right now when it comes to infrastructure and the internal developments, if I may say that way. So even if there are a lot of Indian clients, they want to adopt the multinational cultures over there. They are being very well. I would say it's money is flowing in a very dynamic fashion. So every penny counts. From that angle, if somebody is investing into something, they need a complete ROI. The return on investment should be spot on. So earlier there used to be a situation where project कर लेंगे, GFC नहीं है, गुड फॉर कंस्ट्रक्शन ड्राइंग नहीं है, अभी कर लेते हैं, देख लेते हैं, चेंजेस होंगे तो अप्रूव हो जाएंगे. It's not happening now anymore. I would say we are at 80-90% of accuracy, whatever I can see or working with people. So what I'm trying to say here is, if the softwares like BIM, I am from cost background, softwares like Costex, they are more of mandates now. Once you will go with certain, if you want to work in a certain standard, as the tagline says, that we want to work as a community, not just as random crowd. So if you want to be part of community, the community is definitely evolving, definitely changing in a right spirit, right way, and in the right direction. So we really have to be equipped with those adaptations, which will definitely save over time, so that we can save cost for other people, and that's how the value will be reciprocated at every stage, I would say.
Absolutely. So before I wanted to ask a last question too, and it is common to everyone, I just wanted, if you have any thoughts to share which you have probably brought over here that you wanted to speak, the mic is yours, any one of you.
I think I will just add one point here. I wanted to share one important lesson which I had learned in my first job only. When I started back in 2010, I have done, I have started from government aided Marathi school, okay, and I never knew that I will make to a metro city like Mumbai, and I will be a cost professional. What is quantity serving, I never knew. My first job, when I got assigned as a graduate engineer trainee, the first job I got was to understand a BOQ. मुझे BOQ का लॉन्ग फॉर्म भी नहीं पता था उस समय, होता क्या है, एक कौन सी चिड़िया है, After I spent just 3 months over there, I was assigned as a job of a billing engineer over there, and I was handling 9 sites in my first job only. It was only possible because I wanted to get into the details. At that time, I had a a very ethical situation where somebody has being a billing engineer. It's a very responsible job. You never know. Somebody has offered me a bribe of 6 lakh rupees that time to certify a 1 crore rupees bill, which I had certified at 85 lakh rupees. So there was a delta of 15 lakh rupees. That person thought, गांव का लड़का है, अभी तो आया है, कर देगा. So the person was like this, अभी कर, नहीं तो तेरी छुट्टी करता हूँ. It was like this. So my first job, and I'm like, what should I do? So I think what I'm trying to connect over here is the fundamental approach to ethics. I told him कि whatever you are seeing me, or whatever, even if you want to put me across the MD of the company, my stand will remain same. अब मैं तुझे देखता हूँ, मुझे आता कम होगा, लेकिन मुझे जो आता है सही आता है. So let's do that way. तुमको जो होता है, तुमसे जो करना है कर लो. मैं इस चीज़ को करने वाला नहीं हूँ. So what I'm trying to say you over here is कि even if after 16 years I'm standing on the same threshold, if somebody is saying, okay, इसको इस तरीके से कर लेते हैं, so I would say कि just be a fundamentalist in your mind and adopt the new dynamism is what I would try to say. इसका एक balance करना है, and then as everybody has echoed the thought कि success is just a byproduct.
Anyone, any point?
So one of the things that I just wanted to add, and that's specifically from the facilities management standpoint, that RICS came up with the standards of IBOS, it is called, International Building Operating Standards. So interestingly, in the facilities management trade or in the space, there was nothing which was there. And they came up with that, and today those are the ones standards which are being adopted, and at least for newbies who are coming into this trade, I think they get that help. So things are changing. When I embraced RICS, it was year 2012 or somewhere around that time, where we had an opportunity to get RICS in one of our events, and that is where we came across understanding about what quantity surveying is, because in facilities management there's obviously nothing like quantity surveying, and gradually we could understand the importance of being connected and the kind of knowledge base that it had. If you go across the CPDs, if you go across the kind of white papers that you get, articles that you get, I think all of them have contributed towards elevating the profile of the community, and I think that's what we should continue to build on.
Thank you. You want to add something, sir?
See, as a concluding statement, on one side, I definitely feel far more taken seriously in the market with my MRICS degree. My clients take me seriously. I have done transaction 15-20 years back also. Maybe that was compulsion for them to engage me in Pune. But now they feel that this person is right to do it. Incidentally, my daughter is the urban planning head in Singapore. So she also can say with pride that my father is MRICS. There is some qualification. This is just referral point. But more than that, basically, I think a lot of influences that has happened with me while traveling with Mr. Anand Mahindra, Mr. Godrej to Europe, while sometime being in the lift with Mr. Ratan Tata, while meeting number of times Mr. G.D. Birla 38, 40 years back. That time I was a contractor. And I met him 38, Mr. G.D. Birla himself, or meeting even a simple souls like Mother Teresa or Dalai Lama. They have influenced me. I got something from them to remain constantly on the same path. Maybe whatever is my profession. I think that basically, if you are getting, trust me, आज भी अगर हम जो बड़ा डील करते हैं, मैं जाकर जमीन को छूता हूँ, यार तुम भी हमारे ओनर को भी प्रॉस्पेरिटी तो बाद में मुझको देना. Even today when I do a campus, I ensure कि उसकी पूजा का काम मैं करूँ. Because unless until he is not getting prosperity, I have no right to get prosperity. Trust me, I do it. I have taken my wife's children to that property. So I think that particularly goes a long way, as long as my intentions are pure and I walk extra mile.
Thank you. Actually, we are in a kind of a profession where in clients' prosperity lies our prosperity. Or when they prosper, then they think about doing something, increasing their house, changing their house or increasing the size of their property. They do that particular part and they happily engage us. And if we deliver that particular part with honesty, integrity, with the kind of a knowledge which is required as per the latest standards, I think we can do that particular part. My last question to everyone, and you can take 30 seconds for that. If you would have started your practice today, in 2024, as a young 23-year-old self, how would you have done that particular part? We'll start with Amit again. What difference you would have done today? ये बोला नहीं था. आउट ऑफ सिलेबस क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, अपना तो बिल्ट एनवायरनमेंट का मामला है.
I think I would say कि this would have been much more confident than what I have started earlier. मैं खुद को हमेशा से पहले ऑपरेशनल या बैकएंड रिसोर्स समझता था, but अभी connecting the whole dots, looking at the entire canvas and working like a GPS satellite, जो मैं हमेशा सोचता हूँ कि why should I do it, how should I do it, and if I'm doing it, then how can I do it. इन तीनों डॉट्स को जोड़ के काम करने का तरीका मेरा थोड़ा अलग होगा. डेफिनेटली इट्स गोना बी अ वैल्यू प्रपोजिशन इन वॉट एवर आई चूज, वॉट एवर आई टच. जैसे सर ने भी पॉइंट मेंशन किया है कि अगर कोई चीज़ में जा रहे हैं तो उसको 0 to 100 करके छोड़ना है और 100 से पहले रुकना नहीं. दैट्स इट. ये अप्रोच तो रहना ही है और वो वैल्यू एड विल बी मल्टीपल इन द मल्टीपल फोल्ड्स, आई वुड से.
थैंक यू. राजू सर, your thoughts if you start practice today?
बड़ा मुश्किल क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने. हमको अगर आज से शुरू करना है तो मैं यही चाहूँगा कि मेरे साथ जो भी काम करे वो सिर्फ दिल और दिमाग से बीडी करे, खाली अपनी सर्वाइवल के पैसे मुझसे ले, तनख्वाह न ले। सर्वाइवल कैसे, तनख्वाह मुझसे न ले। और जब वो बीडी करके उसको तकलीफ होती है, गालियां खाता है, उसको निकाल, इनफैक्ट आई ऑल्सो वाज सम पॉइंट लिटरली थ्रोन आउट ऑफ द somebody's campus, somebody's building. I have been handled all that way, and somebody sometimes gave me a gold pen. But आप बीडी करो, तकलीफ होती है, I'll do hand holding with you in whatever form that you do, and then when you get success, I'll share my profit with you. बहुत सैलरीज बांटी, बहुत काम कर लिया, बट आई थिंक आज के तारीख में लिटरली काम है, खाली ढंग से करने वाला चाहिए। दिल दिमाग से करने वाला चाहिए, बहुत काम।
थैंक यू। अनिता मैम,
the question is if I had to start as a 23-year-old today. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have made all the mistakes that I made. Hopefully, I mean, I wouldn't have known any better, right? So, but hopefully, I wouldn't have bungled my way through. I wouldn't have been so disorganized, and of course now all of you have so much, knowledge, and with the internet you have really so much, and you have, so I think I would have been a more informed person, a more informed professional. I would have done my masters much earlier. It would have been a more structured way of going about my profession, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. You got extra time, huh?
नहीं,
for out of syllabus questions you got extra time.
सारा लोगों ने बोल दिया हुआ है। Okay. So I think if I were to start today, I think the first thing would be that I would definitely want to complete whatever formal education that I have to do. That's, I think, a big learning for me. Secondly, whichever field that I choose, and if I were to choose this field, I would definitely go in for the relevant accreditation, the relevant certification, so that when you are there in the field, you need to have relevant educational qualifications as your equipments, with the right attitude, and I would not want to be a white collared one. Right? I cannot afford to be. Wherever there is something which comes up, I would rather pull up my sleeves, get into it, do it, dirty my hands, and that's the spirit with which I have continued throughout my life, and I would want to, if given a chance to start off again, I would do the same, irrespective of technology.
Anita, you want to add something?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't have been as naive as I had been, and I would have been as smart as these youngsters today are,
Just one line.
Yes, sir.
Not that today I wanted to announce, but I've been thinking for 3-4 months that the kind of high that I get while being MRICS in my business cards, in my discussions, and so many people in IPCs are actually my employees, early employees. Now I've decided to take 2 of my vertical heads to do their MRICS in coming 1 year.
Very nice.
And it's a genuine, I'm telling you honestly. And also I want to do FRICS. Because I feel that it gives you a different kind of joy and pride. And unless and until you don't get pride what you do, you are not worth getting success.
Thank you. We are in this city of knowledge, and here, particularly in Pune, those who ask questions, they also can impart knowledge. That is what this particular city is all about. And so therefore, now is the time of question and answers. And I would request the mic to be passed on. If anybody has any questions, even we would like to get enlightened over here, sitting on this particular dais. Any questions? Somebody who is new to Pune, he also has already imbibed those qualities. So don't worry about that. Just ask your questions. Yes. Please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. I am Arunima Rane. I am alumni of RICS, School of Built Environment from Mumbai branch. So today I came to this RSS Matrix. I found out like it is happening in Pune, and I am former student of RICS. So I wanted to attend this event and I wanted to know like what the industry is up to, this real estate, what it is up to, or any former industry. I'm right now working as a visual designer at OneCard, fintech company. So recently I just resigned at from the company. So my question arises here after resigning, that how should growth should be defined. What does that mean? Whether I'm going in a vertical manner or in a horizontal manner, what mindset should be there for growth? So I wanted to know the proper definition of the leaders who should be like defining whether it should be a growth mindset for them or it should be vertical to reaching that height.
Hello. I think first of all I have a small counter question for you. What is growth for you? How do you define it? Is it financial? Is it peace of mind? Is it societal status? What do you think of growth? I mean, when I say growth, or what kicks you? Okay, this is what I want.
For my terms, growth I define as a peace of mind, a stability.
With good finances.
Yes.
So a work-life balance is what you are looking for.
Exactly.
In short. Right?
Yes.
There must be some reason why you have resigned over there, right? Either you're falling short of money because of XYZ reasons, or you're not getting that peace of mind for XYZ reasons. Is that reason figured out first?
Yeah, the reason which I figured out that whatever I studied in my program, I figured out that there was no proper organizational structure in the company, which was lacking there. That should be defined, that all the leaders, all the hierarchy that should be there, it was not properly defined. So it led me down that I should move into another sector or another approach towards the growth of my personal growth.
So a proper structure is not available. That's what has discouraged you and you have taken that decision, right? Yeah. It's a very relevant situation in what I am right now. Whatever company name you are seeing over here, it's a 3-year-old company actually. And my earlier experiences with a lot of IPCs, what sir just right now mentioned. So working with a complete ready structure in a golden cage versus, there is a phrase called as being cause in the matter. अगर आप चाहते हो ना तो आप उसके लिए खड़े रहोगे, अदरवाइज आप भीड़ में चलोगे, ठीक है? तो आपको वो चीज़ पकड़नी है, बाकी सब मैं बोलूँगा कि इट्स जस्ट मिनिस्कल. सैलरी तो मिल जाएगी, जॉब भी मिलेंगे, बहुत मिलेंगे. अभी सबने बताया कि बहुत जॉब्स हैं, वो इशू नहीं है. बट ये 1 साल के बाद वापस रिकरिंग रिबाउंड इफेक्ट आने वाला है कि यार अब क्या, वापस क्या करेंगे. तो अगर वहाँ खड़े रहना है आपको तो सिंपल चीज़ है, क्या चाहिए ये आपको पहले निकालना है. स्ट्रक्चर चाहिए तो बनाना पड़ेगा. आप बनाओगे तो मज़ा आएगा, वो लंबा चलेगा सिचुएशन. तो फिर बाद में जॉब नहीं ढूंढना है, वो प्रॉस्पेरिटी अपने आप आती रहेगी. सर ने भी वही चीज़ बोली. सो मेरा फर्स्ट ईयर यहाँ पे वही था. आई वॉज रैंटिंग ऑल द टाइम, इवन दो बीइंग अ डायरेक्टर. यार कहाँ आ गया हूँ, क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं. लोग खड़े नहीं कर रहे हैं, क्यों? तो स्ट्रक्चर नहीं था, अप्रोच का तरीका नहीं था. मेरे लिए लोग क्या काम करेंगे या मैं उनके लिए क्या करूँगा, इसका क्लैरिटी नहीं था. जब हम इस चीज़ों को जब डॉट्स जोड़ लेते हैं, आपको अपना रोल समझ में आएगा. आपका आपके लिए रोल क्या है और दूसरों के लिए रोल क्या है. द मोमेंट यू विल स्टार्ट कनेक्टिंग दिस, जॉब में जॉब नहीं रहेगा, वो मज़ा आना शुरू हो जाएगा. और जब मज़ा आएगा तब आपको छोड़ने की इच्छा नहीं होगी. वेरी सिंपल. तो अभी वही चीज़ पकड़ो जिसमें आपको मज़ा आएगा. जॉब्स अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ तो बहुत है. इट्स जस्ट दैट फिगर आउट व्हाट यू वांट और आगे बढ़ना है. दैट्स इट. मतलब कुछ भी नहीं है उसमें इतना बड़ा. आई वुड से. आई होप आई आंसर्ड योर क्वेश्चन.
And you are going to work for 45 to 50 more years. So this is just a very small part of that. And so in that case, आराम से आप सर को देख रहे हो, 45-50 साल तक आप काम करने वाले हो. जिस दिन आप काम करना बंद कर दोगे उस उम्र में, उस दिन आप सच में बूढ़े हो जाओगे. जिस दिन काम करना बंद कर दोगे. तो ये छोटा सा पार्ट है. बस आई थिंक सर का एडवाइस जो है आप उसके ऊपर कर सकते
हैं. I only had, I think he's from the relevant field, so he could express better. Whatever that you have done, for whatever reasons that you have resigned, I don't want to know that part only. But the fact is this, that you actually want a time for yourself to introspect. And that introspection process, I don't want to discuss taking everybody's time. Maybe on sidelines I'll tell you what you should do. And if I'm able to help you, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any other question? Anyone else has? Yes. There are two questions over here.
I myself, architect Ashwini Pawar. I'm practicing architectural planning and design management consultancy since 2019. I have been through your phase where I was in a golden cage in Qatar, in Dubai, in Barcelona. Then I landed in India. Then in India, I did this same journey with all corporate design firms, DSP, RSP, Kutub architects, everyone. And finally, I understood after RERA कि मेरे साइन का मजा अभी आ रहा है.
Correct.
Then I started my consultancy. Believe me, getting down on sites, rolling up the sleeves, and asking the contractor to get the work done as per the issued construction drawings is altogether different in our country, India. And then making project managers from NICMAR pass out to say कि boss, site पे slab बराबर नहीं है, मैं sign नहीं करूँगी because I am a project architect. Call your licensing architect. That is the again tough thing to do at 7:30 p.m. telling all male-dominated industry that also in a pathetic quota cabin. I have been all through this journey of my life. I just want to know all these fancy things are really relevant in structured, developed countries, not in a stage where India is right now. And you all have attained so much of wisdom and knowledge in this industry since 20 to 30 years. How many years you think that we will take to make our this industry, architectural construction, engineering, planning and real estate transactions to reach at that sophisticated level where the contracts are appreciated, duly respected and laborers are also given their own due? That's my question.
Anyone wants to take that? I would add my points after that. बताओ सर, आप बताइए आपका. I just told you that in 2000 when I came in this industry, मुझे भी मेरा भी मन भागने का हुआ था क्योंकि मेरा नौकरी तो दिए है, पेट्रोल पंप का वैल्यूएशन दे रहे हैं, लेकिन मेथड सिस्टम्स कुछ पता नहीं है, मैं क्या करूं? We made the systems, we made the process. We also realized after doing work for 6 months that यहाँ कोई सेपरेट बीडी नहीं है. वो आईपीसी में हमें ही अपना बीडी करना पड़ेगा. खुद जाके बीडी किया, कैस्ट्रॉल वगैरह बाकी कंपनीज में जाके बात किया तो हुआ. तो पॉइंट ऐसा है 2001 से मैंने शुरू किया, उसके पहले इन लोगों ने शुरू किया. तब से आज तक हम लोग स्ट्रक्चर और सब खोज रहे हैं कि वो नहीं बन रहा है. लेकिन मजे की बात यह है कि हम ही है वो कि जो बनाने वाले हैं. My chairman in my earlier company, Hindustan Construction Company, Mr. Ajit Gulabchand used to say that in India, you are told that you are the pilot, but they don't give you plane also. So what you do as a pilot, you start making the plane and you start flying the plane. That is how they have been doing the work. And he said, I learned that from my uncle who set up this particular industry, 1926, Hindustan Construction Company. He fought against all odds and against American, British and Irish companies he fought, and he got the first tunnel work done, which is linking Mumbai and Pune. They were not giving the work to Indian companies, but Mr. Walchand Hirachan, he basically fought hard and got that particular work done. He said in HCC we carry that kind of spirit only. We never know whatever we are getting into, like Bandra Worli, Sealing or Lavasa, for all good and bad reasons, but we believe that we are the change agents. We are the people who make difference. We are the stakeholders of this beautiful profession, and we should only do that particular part. I believe that after 25 years, if we are having this ceremony, this program again over here, somebody would still have that particular question. But this is something which is an evolving field, which will keep on evolving. But one good point is there that at one point of time, we are going to reach there. मामला बन जाएगा एक ना एक दिन. ये बात तो है, and you can make that difference. Again, thank you very much. And as I said earlier, I got some knowledge when somebody asked the question. My conviction was true in Pune. So now third question. Thank you.
Hello everyone. So my question is to particularly Mr. Raju Mehtani, that if one individual wants to start a career in real estate as an agent or a broker without having any background in real estate or not having any MBA degree in real estate or anything, how one should proceed and what you would suggest or give advice to that person. Thank you.
What's your first name?
My name is Neha Khare.
Neha. If you want to start a career in real estate, whether for office space or for industrial space, first you have to understand what is the product. And that product exercise itself is not easy. Because what we are trying to sell, what we are trying to propose to the client, we need to understand. Like, you know, that Ashwini was telling that somebody didn't sign for that at 7:30. The fact is this, that I have been a contractor and I left that profession because of so much of manipulation was happening 38 years back in UP and Bihar, where every Saturday paise denge log goli chalate the. But my concern is this only: if you understand, first you understand the product, then somebody will handhold, will tell you, understand who is going to be a client for this product. There are always people, and once when you understand the kind of client who is going to be your client, then you have to understand that why he will take this product. See, I tell you that even today, in fact I am not carrying my bag, even today when I meet my client, whatever they tell me, I write. And trust me, before I sleep or maybe early morning next day, I send them my MOM. This is what we discussed, this is what we agreed, this is what we open areas. I'll take 2 days, I'll take 7 days, I'll take 1 month to come back to you. There's some document on the paper, he has to agree or disagree. There's something. I'm sure if you go through this process, understanding the product, understanding the client, understanding his need, बाकी तो सिखाने वाले लोग बैठे हैं ना आपको, why you worry that? हाँ, absolutely. I think you more than that. But problem is this only, that you know, whether you have that heart and soul to learn. विश्वास करिए मेरा, अगर आप ये जानना चाहते हैं अच्छा लॉजिस्टिक वेयरहाउस कैसे बनता है, if you want to understand how a data center is made, it's not easy. It will take you months. You have to read something, understand, go through that, and once when you understand, oh, money comes. That's it. This is a byproduct.
Thank you, sir. I think those are the words which are golden words. But we have one question finally from.
Yeah, hi, good evening. This is Rishikesh Aute, alumni of SBE 1719 from Noida batch. So my question to again Raju sir is that I had my stints internship I did with CBRE, then with Sadhbij International Realty I had a stint with luxury real estate. Then I switched over to JLL for a year or so, and from last 4 years, 3.5 years, I have founded my own company, which is VR Commercial, dealing into commercial real estate in Pune. So starting I did was to do cash flows. I sold commercial real estate, and then laterally I made into commercial real estate, starting with office spaces. So last 3.5 years, I just felt as an entrepreneur, as an RICS guy, we are always trained in such a way that we should be job ready. But somewhere down the line, I should feel there should be something which will enable us to be entrepreneur ready, right? So I have been missing those links from last 3.5 years. Also, second point is how to handle highs and lows, because how to handle the highs and lows as an entrepreneur, because you are into the same field, you have been doing it for last 4 decades or so. So highs and lows are the part of business. I've been going through it, but how to handle it, which will eventually help me succeed in a longer term. Because what's your first question? So my first question is, as an entrepreneur, how to get into this field, because the last 3.5 years I have worked with the IPCs. There was a structured way of doing things. With entrepreneurship, as a single guy who does businesses, I have to hire a team, I have to get into it. So I am facing those challenges. How to get a good team, especially when I can not afford a professional, guys upfront. So I need to do work with unskilled people and get into this field.
Actually, since you are from the same field, there are platforms where any new inquiry goes.
Right.
if anybody is looking for a space in industrial area, they'll go and meet MIDC people. If anybody wants to start a small industry on their own, they will go to CII. If anybody wants to start, a Korean company wants to come and do it, they will meet their counterpart who is handling it there. I'm sure you have to network with those people. And everything is not right. They just want a good behavior from you. Trust me, I don't do anything like that. But what happens is this only, that if you are, and that's the first step. That's the first step, that if you are meeting those, STPI people or CII people or the Indo-German Chamber of Commerce, or if you are going to, and then there are platforms like, Coordinate Global or MIPIM, these are little at a different level. But if you are networking through them, you will understand that they all need service providers. They all need service provider. If there is a good lawyer in the market, if there is a good charter accountant in the market, I wait for my charter accountant at his mercy. At his mercy, whenever he tells me, because he does an excellent job. I don't question him that why you're not talking to me today, why you're not meeting after 3 days. Because I trust he understands that this is what is required. Similarly, my wife is a doctor, she is a physician. She sometimes doesn't meet for 8, 10 days. People wait. Because the quality service that she gives is 100%. So if you are ready to deliver 100% from the same industry of corporate services, I'm sure these platforms are waiting. There are people who need service. And trust me, I don't work on discounts. I charge my full fee. And people are there to pay me.
That's what the problem comes.
No problem comes. No problem comes. They must realize that he's adding value. Like sometimes people ask me, sir, वो बनेरघट्टा में या कल वो Bangalore में इसकी price क्या होनी चाहिए? I don't take more than 3 minutes to answer. I have a question answer to him. What's the price in Koramangala? What's the price on Mount Road in Chennai? Otherwise, I should not be in this profession. I should not have 35 offices. But once when I know that subject and he understands, he knows the subject, पैसा देगा नहीं यार, क्यों नहीं पैसा देगा? That's it.
One more. Yeah, one short question, because as an entrepreneur, again you have given the gist of it, but what are the advantages and disadvantages of competing with the IPCs in this sector? As an entrepreneur. Yeah. As an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. So I would say, and I mentioned that earlier, you are not a competitor, you are a collaborator. Go with that mindset, that's about it.
Absolutely.
You are trying to wipe out unethical practices. Stand for it, be patient, just be patient. Don't go in for quantity, that's what he's saying. Just go in for quality. You will find that difference to yourself.
That's perfect. I think we have some of the members from National Association of Realtors over here, and they also are working in the same mindset of increasing their knowledge, increasing professional practice, and eventually work hand in hand with anyone in the industry who wants to collaborate. Eventually our goal is that the client should be happy. That should be the goal. Whether you are a land acquisition person or a facility management person, your goal is client happiness, client delight. That should be your goal. And on that note, we can say that questions can again be taken when we are going to be on the other side of this particular hall. So the questions can be taken. So thanks a lot once again to my fellow panel members over here who had laid out a beautiful discussion over here. Thanks to everyone who worked in Pune office to basically get things over here. Thanks to you guys, audience, for this. So I would hand over mic to Nitin to basically give the further share of vote of thanks if it is to be done. Nitin will take over.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the wisdom which has actually come across from this particular stage, and as he brought out 100 years of experience on the dais and actually reflecting upon. I can see the faces of the audience. They are just glued to the screen and all the speakers, and the experience that they are bringing out on the on the table. It's something which is cannot be actually described in words. That's so kind of value which has been created through this particular forum. And I'm sure with this platform taking being announced and launched and introduced for the Pune market, it might create more value for all the individuals, be it a young professional or a senior professional, as you rightly brought out. Everyone has their share of learning in this. So thank you so much for sharing that wisdom and knowledge with us. And I would like to call upon Mr. Ashwini Awasthi to give a token of appreciation to all the speakers here on the dais. So please, sir, if you can.
सर आप थोड़ा आगे
I learned about 15-20 years back कि किसी के पास खाली हाथ मत जाना. Trust me, I learned just a separate story. खाली हाथ मत जाओ. And I knew that I'll meet 5 people on the stage, so I brought small token for 5 of them.
Thank you.
आप जो दोगे उससे डबल वापस आए.
Attention to details. Thank you. आपण पुण्यात आहोत, त्यामुळे जेवल्याशिवाय कोणी जाऊ नका हे मी नक्की सांगेन. Thank you.
So may I please request everyone to join us for drinks and dinner on the side of the area. Thank you so much.
घेऊ नको, मला थोडा अजून अर्धा तास लागतोय. तू जेवून घेतलं का? हां, मग मी खाली आले की तुला मला अजून अर्धा
I go to Bombay. I
My wife also has a chicken business. She was known to renovation quality and price. She's addressing 6 jobs for me. I cannot cancel it out. धंधा करेंगे हम अगर सिंह धंधा करेंगे पैसा बहुत
And we do the pro bono services also of eco-friendly schools and agricultural schools. So it's in Pune Road.
Really? And I am now.
And Pune and 4 and co-working spaces. 4 and co-working spaces. In Pune you have a signet corner, you have a product map right in that. Because I majorly do a large shift project. So that
This was a recorded version.
Okay.
So अब इसमें क्या है ना, वीडियो रिकॉर्ड हो गई मेरे पास, इसको मैं कभी भी बाद में यूज़ कर सकता हूँ, बट वो क्वालिटी नहीं है.